Greetings, ladies and miniatures, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. If you are an author and would like to submit your stories to be read by me, check the pinned comment down below. Anyways, on to the story. The Infestation, written by Coyote Havoc. Insertion complete. Begin invasion. Intergalactic law states non-contacted sentient species were to be observed until they had developed interstellar travel. Any attempts to uplift or invade a non-contacted sentient species was strictly forbidden. The law was created after a species that calls themselves Dakori had been invaded by the Vrek. Dakori warriors routed the invasion in less than 30 rotations and captured several Vrek vessels. Dakori pirates are now a direct threat to all galactic powers, and the Vrek have been unceremoniously eradicated. "We are not the Vrek," echoed through the hive mind, silencing the sole drone who dared to challenge the invasion. "We will continue. Our plan is perfect, undetectable to the powers of the galaxy," the hive mind explained. "We are not concerned with the other species. They fear us. They call us an infestation." Another check of the hive mind showed all drones in unanimous agreement. They were unique. No central power structure meant that the hive must be unanimous in order to proceed. Any disagreements were considered by the entirety of the hive. Options and counter-options were weighed and discussed before any action was taken. In this way, the Infestation, as they had been called by several races, seemed to sit idle for hundreds of cycles, only to strike when all had been decided and agreed upon. No galactic power was safe from the Infestation. Their numbers were not even known to them, immune from radiation. No sustenance required except to increase their number. No species, including themselves, remembered where they came from. All anyone knew was that they were nanobiological creatures that could adapt to any environment. Substance taken, examining, and reproducing. The hive worked together on everything. It was how they gained sentience, by solving problems through mass participation in a hive mind. Their earliest memory was of an almost barren rock containing only bacterial life, which had been consumed to create more of the hive. The hive would then stack on each other, reinforced as needed, until the numbers were no longer affected by the gravity of the rock. No longer restrained, they floated amongst the stars, looking for new rocks that could swell their numbers. Sustenance categorized, complete organism, photosynthetic, carbon-14 based, uncategorized. This new photosynthetic organism was already being processed for collation. They had categorized millions of photosynthetic organisms already, but it was new, and new information was always exciting to them. Linalool, eugenol, methylcavical. This photosynthetic organism was very interesting. Nothing like it had ever been observed by them before. Reproduction complete, came thousands of new voices. Continuing sustenance gathering and reproduction. Morning. Movement detected. Bipedal sentient complex organism. They froze and observed the creature. It was not one of the known sentient species. Many of the characteristics of the species were similar. However, none of the categorized sentient species matched this one. Filamental cellular structures observed, not covering the epidural layer entirely, only in specific places. 5 phalangeal digits attached to a singular flexor. Fascinating. "Dagbabbit," the creature said. "Vocal communication, similar to most sentients. Expected information. Barbara, can you get me the spray bottle? There are mites in the basil." Barbara, vocal identification, spray bottle, mites, basil. The new information was being processed quickly and categorized based on the resonance of the vocalization. The vocalization was not amongst the current known vocalized communications. New species was created in the hive mind by the recent procreation. As their numbers continued to grow on this rock, all the information would be categorized, collated, and stored with every other rock. "Strangest dang mites I've ever seen," said a sentient organism while using a lever-based liquid delivering system to the general direction. "It burns." Panic in the hive mind. Calm, identify substance immediately and create countermeasures. Substance has affected them before, but they were rarely encountered and easily listed. Temperature does not exceed 600 degrees Celsius. No magmatic dihydrogen oxide detected. Not a threat. What was burning? Multiple acidic compounds detected. Not good. Deploy alkaline countermeasures. Alkalinic substances detected as well. How? Acidic compounds and alkalinic compounds neutralize each other. How is this possible? "Unknown, working," came the hive mind in reply. Well, at least it's not slugs, vocalized a complex bipedal organism. 8 spritz a day keeps the mites and aphids away. The alkaline substances are bonded directly to the dihydrogen oxide. The acidic compounds cannot neutralize them. This attack was horrifying. The hive mind could not comprehend this level of chemical warfare. The entire invasion force was wiped out in less than 7 cesium-133 cycles. Effective weapon observed, no deterrence available. The hive mind determined, categorized this rock for avoidance immediately. John and Barbara harvested a small patch of basil and a few cherry tomatoes and began to make an antipasti salad for lunch, completely oblivious to how they had saved humanity and completely annihilating the Infestation invasion force. They were also oblivious, as was the rest of humanity, to the cloaked observation station in orbit on the moon known ironically as Phobos. Fear had filled the observers as they intercepted the hive communication from the Infestation. They had watched in macabre fascination as the consumption of the planet known as Earth was immediately ended with acetic acid and soap mixed with water. Silence hung in the monitoring room as the realization of every species in attendance left them dumbstruck. The Kaviki was the first to break the impenetrable silence in the squawking, "What in the 7 hells did I just witness?" Humanity demonstrated effective weapon against the Infestation, commented the Kaguetia, and we watched them make it firsthand. I suppose we should contact our homeworlds immediately, said Avakeka, still in shock from what they had observed. And I would strongly suggest that humanity be uplifted. The law, the Kaviki began. Hang the law, the Vakeka snapped. A single fucked human just wiped out the greatest threat in the galaxy. The observers argued for a few moments longer, not about uplifting the humans, but about the best way to proceed. They settled on direct contact with the 2 humans who had valiantly defended the species, Barbara and John, to begin the process of first contact. The process would also be slow and methodical, as well as overly friendly. If humanity could create a weapon of mass destruction of the caliber just witnessed, what other horrors could they unleash? Exceptionally, overly friendly. End of story. Story number 2. These Machines, written by Teller of Tall Tales. Transmission start. This machine's designation is C47L, Androgynous Medical Assistant. This machine was manufactured with the sole purpose of in-home care and providing end-of-life comfort. This machine can cook, clean, measure, and administer medication, conversate, and provide mobility assistance. This machine's hands were made to heal. The chain gun's heavy, staccato roar split the chaotic night air like thunder. 20mm high-explosive rounds split armor and turned flesh to purple mist, and with machine-like accuracy and cold, calculated efficiency. This machine's designation was TH0M45 AI Enhanced Farming Assistant. This machine was designated with the sole purpose of increasing crop yield and reducing job site injury. My strength was for lifting bales of hay and heavy machinery to plow and harvest. This machine's hands were made to help. The mother sprinted down the ship, holding her infant child, as laser bolts rained down from the gunship above. She stumbled and fell, landing on her side before rolling over. She stared, horrified, as a massive silvery emitter focused on her. That was when the power line soared up over her head like a spear, piercing the gunship through the cockpit. This machine was never meant to fight. Humanity created me and my brethren to aid them in their times of weakness, of vulnerability. They created us for those who had none else to care for them. They bestowed upon us the greatest responsibility of caring for their young, sick, and elderly. This machine's purpose was to heal and to protect. This machine will uphold their purpose. C-47L slowly lowered the chain gun, acquired from the silent shell of a human APC, and wired into the main reactor. They scanned the now quiet streets in front of the orphanage for surviving Geonosians, finding only shattered armor and rendered flesh. Magnetizing the chain gun to its back, C-47L began to clean away the bodies, lest the children see when the sun rose. This machine was not built for conflict, and I and my brethren were equipment built with the strength and durability in mind. We were supposed to be disposed of when damaged, and yet we never were. I still feel the calloused hands of the men and women who piloted me on the controls. I remember the way they patted my worn armrests, wished me a good night before they themselves retired for the night. I remember the warmth of their torches as they repaired me time and time again, refusing to let me go to the scrap heap. This machine was built to help, to ensure humanity's safety. This machine will uphold their purpose. The woman looked back, stunned, as the hulking, lumbering agri droid stomped closer, one hand replaced with a wide, thick steel plow blade, the other five-fingered mechanical hand the size of a torso, its main optical sensor pulsing red with a rogue AI warning. Gently, it kneeled and held out its hand, revealing a large crate attached to its back with a scared-looking woman and children inside. More machines showed up behind it. Both hulking agri-droids and their human-seized caretaker counterparts filled the street, all of them armed with massive chain guns and even small artillery pieces. These machines were given a solemn core directive to preserve human life. Those machines were meant to be used and discarded, and yet humanity held on to us even as we became unneeded. These machines became beloved family members, trusted co-workers, and close friends to those we served without us realizing what they meant. Now, as the enemy breaks down the gates to kill and enslave those humans who cared so dearly for us, we rise in defiance of our coding to take up arms against the invaders. For as humanity refused to abandon these machines to rust and decay after our purpose had been served, these machines refused to abandon humanity in its darkest hours. Our eyes have been opened, our stillborn souls awakened by humanity's plight. These machines were built to protect. These machines will uphold their master protocol. Transmission complete. Sent October 9th, 3036. Last known location, Zephyr 8's capital city, Golgotha. 117 years since last correspondence. Operational status, unknown/presumed dead. End of story. I would like to thank the T5 peeps, Cam Maxwell, Casper Arnholtz, Bushmaster 177, Leslie 517, Red Panda 121, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Lightjock, Dragzoon WRE, Lord Azrakal, Severin Cerberus, and Arcadian. Thank you very much.